On that note, let me introduce Manuela Mejia. Manuela is a musician, singer, and composer who creates music from the soul. She returned recently to Colombia to embark on a journey of healing and connection to her roots. She's a leading figure in the genre of medicine and mantra music in Latin America. She believes in the power of music to heal and connect. And she's speaking from Medellin.
Hi, Marce, and everyone here. I'm very honored to be part of these beautiful panelists. And what I love the most is the name of this, the World Hope Forum, because it is what brought me back to Colombia. And it is the why I do what I do. So thank you. And yes, I am in Colombia in the mountains. I'm not in the city, but 30 minutes from Medellin, where usually people that come arrive in their planes. This is Rio Negro. And these mountains are very beautiful. I'm surrounded by crystals all around.
Can we see your studio?
Yes. So here I am. This is my place, and I want to show you like the beauty of Colombia. And this is what I look at every day that I wake up.
Incredible.
And then on the other side, these big stones that you see there, that's a big crystal, a big quartzo. Crystal?
Quartz.
Quartz? A big quartz, yeah. So these mountains are just quartz. I guess that's why it's so magical and so special to be here. So I don't know if Marcia, you want to ask something or I?
No, please go ahead.
Good. So as Marcia was saying, well, what I do is sing. She asked me if I could start with a little chanting. And I think it's always a good way to begin, listening and the act of hearing. If you look at our ancestry, past generations were all about listening. We didn't have books and we didn't have so much images and screens as we have today. And the vision is amazing. Like, I'm so happy to be wearing your creation, Marce, today. Vision is concrete, you know where the line begins and like I'm separated from you, I can see my limits and your limits. But when you close your eyes and when you open, the quality of listening, we are all one, and it's so beautiful. So I wanted to invite you, if you feel comfortable, to close your eyes for 1 second before we begin. I have this instrument with me if you want to look at it. It's a harmonium. It's not from Colombia. It's actually from India, from Germany, but India popularized it. So let's begin closing our eyes, if you feel comfortable. And take a deep inhalation through the nose and exhale and come to this present moment. Corazón, ábrete sentimiento, ábrete entendimiento y deja a un lado la razón y deja brillar el sol. Escondido en tu interior. So this is an Icaro. This is a song that comes from the Amazon, which Colombia is honored to have part of the Amazon. And Icaro is, they say, is the way nature speaks to us. They say even that the shamans that work with the medicines of the jungle say it is the music, the real medicine. And this song, this little chant I just shared, invites to connect with the heart, is inviting the heart to wake up, so that we don't only receive and experience life through reason, but through the heart. And I guess that's the beauty of Colombia. We've been through a lot, as Marce was sharing, but this is a community that lives from the heart. I was also born, as Marce, in Medellin. At that moment, I was born in the 80s, the most violent city in the whole world. I remember the sounds of my city. It was bombs and guns. Those were the soundscapes we were receiving. And when I was very young, we could not go out to party. Our parents stayed home. And my parents decided to get together with the neighbors to sing. So when I was a 5 or 6 year old, I would just spend my weekends on the back of my mom singing. And she was singing boleros, bambucos. This is a song when I was a 5 year old and they asked me to sing. This is what I would sing. So let me share a little piece of that. Let me know if you listen.
Regálame tiplecito una melodía. Quiero hacer un bambuco para el recuerdo. Yo le pongo los versos y la armonía, y los dos le pondremos el sentimiento. Apúrate, tiplecito.
So I was singing to the tiple, that is like a guitar from this region. But it's not like the one we know from Spain. It's very beautiful. And that moment, music became the bubble, the guard, the protection. And I realized that music and love, that my people, even though they were going through a lot, it was music. It was the joy in the heart that was never dead. There was a lot of people that were killed, but never the joy and never the love that lived inside. When I was 18, I decided to leave my country. There was a lot of hurt, a lot of fear, and I thought I would never come back again. I left to study music because in the back of somewhere in my heart, I knew that the way was through music and through art, that we had been through so much, and maybe it was not through ideas or reasons, but maybe that my way was through the heart and through the music. So I went to the US, and where I lived for the past 18 years. And it's interesting because when I arrived to Miami, what kind of music was I going to start doing? It was very commercial music. So I started working, doing music for advertising. So I was using my voice and my talent to help people get inspired, but to buy a car. For example, I'm going to share like a little commercial just to how I was using music then.
El totalmente nuevo Corolla, tan especial que será imposible que no te enamores.
So I realized that music had this power to move emotion and then action, but I was using it for people to move and buy a car. I was very disconnected from my roots. I was like living the American dream, and suddenly when I was like in the middle, I was working in a reality show. I was like in the whole show business. I received a call of my mom saying that my father had died, and he had struggled with mental health for a long time, and he decided to take his own life. This was 2008. So it was the hardest moment I've been through. The whole show business just crumbled, and I was on my own asking myself, what is life about? I encountered the power of suffering. Not only I had lived it through my young years in Colombia, but now my own father had decided to leave this world because of his own suffering. So I decided to take on a journey to discover what suffering is about. Why do we suffer? And what is life about? What I was here, why I was here. I realized that life is shorter than we think. we are all here together right now sharing these beautiful things, but we don't know if we'll wake up tomorrow. And this struck me so hard. I'm like, I need to make use of my talent in a way that it really makes a difference in the world. But first, I needed to heal. So I started a journey. Within my soul, I started to go to India to find different spiritual leaders. I really went into a very deep journey to find myself and to understand what life was about. And I remember one day that I arrived to this retreat with this great Swami. Swami is like the gurus and masters of the Himalayas, that he just came to the US, and I had the opportunity to visit him. And I remember when I arrived, there was this woman singing a weird song that I could not understand what she was singing. And this is what she was singing. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. What was that? I didn't understand, but it made me cry immediately. I was crying and crying, like so deeply. And I realized it was mantra. And mantra is a very ancient technology that comes from India. These are the sounds that the rishis, or the wise men in India, received. And they said these were the vibrations that sustain reality. I was crying so profound, but I was healing so profound just through music. This gave me the hint that this was my way, and I started to go really deep into this music. Singing mantra, sharing mantra, and creating spaces for people to heal through music. When my child, Kai, was born in 2018, we decided to move to Mexico, and something special happened there. Because I had been looking to the Himalayas, to the yogis, to the ancients, and I realized that in America, in my own side of the world, there were a lot of yogis in the form of indigenous communities. In my country, I didn't have the opportunity to know them because the jungles and the nature's places in Colombia were full of guerrillas. It was very difficult to travel around Colombia, and we were very separated from the rest of the country. We lived in our little communities. We didn't know what was going or happening around. But when I arrived to Mexico City, I lived in Mexico City and then in Tulum, I realized that they incorporated the indigenous communities, that they were always present in their rituals, in their events, that they were saluting the directions, the elements, and then something woke up in me. It's time to go back to my roots. There is this song that I wrote when I was in Mexico that I want to share, which spoke about that, about it's time to let go. It's called Deja Ya. It's time to let go of the pain. It's time to let go of the memories of the past. We need to heal. It's time to create the future that we want. And this song, I'm gonna share just a little bit of that. You can see that I'm singing in a cenote. It was when I lived in Mexico.
Deja ya los miedos y la soledad. El dolor profundo, la memoria de lo que se fue. El silencio roto, el alma en pedazos de llorar. La mirada calma que ya no pregunta más. Y deja ya detrás todo eso que ya no te deja respirar. Y deja ya detrás el dolor de ayer que ya no puedes reparar. Vive lo que quieras, deja ir la pena, deja que la historia tenga otro final, deja ir el miedo, ya llegó el tiempo, no hay nada más, no, vívelo,
This was in the middle of the pandemic. As you can see, like the production wasn't the best. It was with cell phones, and we were figuring out how to do it and share it with the world. Because what I found out is that during pandemic, people were like, "We need help. This is very hard what we're going through." For the first time, people were just with themselves in an apartment with their family, getting to, for the first time, looking at themselves. Something that I had been doing for the past years after I went through my father's death. So that moment I said, it's time to let it go. It's time to leave the past in the past. It's time to come back to my roots and see the beauty and acknowledge where I am from. So 2 years, 3 years, I decided to come back. And it's beautiful because when I come back to this country, I couldn't believe the gem that I was missing. I had been going around the world looking for inspiration. When I had Sierra Nevada, as Marce was sharing, the Arhuacos and the Mammoth, the Sierra Nevada, they say, is like the Himalayas in Colombia. We have the Amazon, where we have medicines such as yahe and ayahuasca that are being studied today and have brought a lot of healing to many people. We have Choco, which is the Pacific. We have desert. We have, in these small countries, the second most biodiverse country in the whole world. But the craziest thing is that I didn't know we have 87 indigenous communities that speak more than 60 different dialects. As Colombians, most of us don't know the treasures we have because we couldn't go around our country. And knowing that the yogis and the wise live in our country moved me to decide to sing the songs of the ancient. All of us, no matter where we live, no matter where we are at, our ancestors gathered together around music. We've been through a lot, but music has been a powerful way to come back and heal. So I shared this song when I realized that, hey, I lived in the country where the Amazon is part of this land. And there's a beautiful song from the Amazon from a community that is called the Uniqueen. They actually live closer to Brazil. And it's a song that is calling us to recognize and realize that we are nature, that there's this sense that we are separate from nature. The more technology has advanced, our cities have grown, we've separated from nature. And it's part of what is going on right now. We're destroying our home, and it sounds cliche, but it is true. We are sons and daughters of Mother Earth. This body is made of the elements of the earth. The earth gave us this body so we can experience this life that we don't know when it will end. We breathe. Every time we breathe, we're breathing the exhalation of the plants, of the ocean. We are all connected. This is a beautiful web. And our ancestors and the indigenous communities that are still alive carry that knowledge because they live with the land. And as Marce was saying, we have the privilege to live in this country, left for 20 years, but I'm back to reclaim my roots because that's the way of healing, recognizing and remembering who we are. We carry so much wisdom in ourselves. We carry so much wisdom that our grandmothers and grandparents have left in this body. And it just takes some time to breathe and reconnect and remember. There is this song a little bit of this song that I want to share that is called No Kumana. And it's a song that is calling the spirit of the earth to heal us right now. They sing it in ceremony. They sing it to invite the healing power of nature. Yo soy la tierra, yo soy el agua, el viento, el fuego. Yo soy, yo soy, yo soy. Yo soy la tierra. Ay, yo soy el agua, el viento, el fuego. Yo soy, yo soy, yo soy. Yo soy, yo soy, yo soy. Yo soy, yo soy, yo soy. It is my honor to be back to Colombia and to know that everything, the beauty of Colombia now is available not only for us, the Colombians, but for all of you. The amount of beauty, of art, of healing. And as I see the flourishment in my own life, I see that suffering has a reason, and suffering has woke us up to realize how beautiful, how powerful, and how much medicine lives in our country. So I want to close with a video a couple of years ago. ABC Foundation and Playing for Change called me to help them produce a song around Colombia, to show the healing power of music and to unite different communities of the country around one song around music. So I want to close with this video that is very powerful. We went around Colombia. We recorded more than 80 different musicians. Here it is. And I hope you get a sense of the richness and the beauty of Colombia. And as I always say, suffering and pain have a reason. We can either be victims of pain or learn from pain. And I chose to learn from it. Marce has chose to learn from it. I know that all the people that are going to share today have chose to learn from it. And we all have the opportunity to learn from pain and to flower and flourish after going through so much. And this for me is a hymn of the power of hope. So thank you very much. I'm going to leave you with this beautiful video.
Como la luna que alumbra por la noche los caminos, como las hojas al viento, como el sol espanta el frío, como la tierra la lluvia, como el mar espera el río, así espero tu regreso a la tierra del olvido.
Como naufragan mis miedos, si navego en tu mirada, como alerta mi sentido, con tu voz enamorada, con tu sonrisa de niña, como me mueves el alma, como me quitas el sueño, como me robas la calma.
Mi vida porque sin tu amor yo me muero. Tú tienes la llave de mi corazón. Yo te quiero. Saca mi vida porque sin tu amor yo me muero.
So you can keep watching that in YouTube. It's called La Tierra del Olvido by Playing for Change. Thank you so much again. Thank you, Marce. This was so beautiful to be able to share my journey. And thank you for giving this space for us to speak about this beautiful country that is Colombia.
I think Lee, I see Lee wanting to say something.
Yeah, I enjoyed so much to start with song, because that's such a deep beginning and it is also so joyful at the same time. Makes me want to dance.
To come to Colombia and dance with us.
Thank you, Manuela. I think this is beautiful. I mean, sharing such a deep personal story and your own journey and where you're taking it from very deep roots, I think is beautiful. It's inspiring, and thank you very much.